So we're gonna get started today. Today's Saturday, and we're gonna be making up our kebabs, and also I'm gonna be making some. My husband's gonna be doing the grilling. We're gonna grill some chicken. Yesterday, I made some of these cinnamon currants roll. It's like currants roll with cinnamon. It is so good, guys. It is sweet, it's tart, it's soft, it's fluffy. I do have this recipe on my channel, and I will link that down below because this is worth sharing 100 million gazillion %. Also, butchered up. Also, I made some marble cake. I recently shared this video as well. This is one of my favorite cakes to make. It is so flavorful. That chocolate is kind of like a cross between a brownie and a cake. It is delicious. It is dense. It is flavorful. It's soft. It's moist. It's everything I want in a cake. I mean, it is perfection. I made this a couple of days ago, and this is almost finished. So that's why I made the rolls yesterday. So I covered that up with foil and let that sit there. I'll have some of that with my coffee. What I have here is a whole lot of butter that I melted. And I'm going to cut my onions up. I'm going to put everything in a bowl. Normally what I would do is like I would put them on the sticks and then brush them with butter. I feel like I'm just going to rub everything in butter in a bowl and then put them on the sticks. Might be a little bit more messier, but still I'm able to get everything coated lovely. I don't know, and then we might just be able to put the kebabs right back in this bowl instead of dirtying a plate. We will see. This is the plan for now. We're also going to be doing some corn, grilling some corn on the thing, and then I have some chicken breast. I will just season chicken breast with salt and pepper, maybe a little garlic powder, a little brush of butter or something, because tomorrow we'll be doing chicken Alfredo chicken and chicken Alfredo and fettuccine noodles. So that's going to be for lunch tomorrow. So once I have that grilled chicken done, it's just to cut it up and add it to the pasta with the Alfredo sauce and stuff like that. Have some bell pepper just cut up. Have some onions to cut up here. The mushrooms also to rinse and clean and stuff. We're going to get started on that, and we'll take you along on the day of cooking today. I'm not going to be making any desserts because there's already rolls. There's still ice cream in the fridge from the Costco haul. And I may make a smoothie because that is one of my favorite things to make. And I'm pretty sure I will be making one of my caramel frappuccinos. Well, it's not a frappuccino actually, it's an iced coffee. Because it saves me the time of blending. So let me put this down and flip everything around and get my tripod and set this up. Okay, so we've got our onions and our bell peppers in here. And I'm gonna get some garlic grated. One of my favorite things when you make steak is like those roasted garlic pieces. And don't think, unless I really slice this really finely and place it on a kebab, I probably won't be able to get that same result. But what I typically do is just grate the garlic into the butter so it's coated. But you know, when it's so small like that and it's grated, or you can like mince it or something, you run the risk of burning it and it can get a little bit bitter, but that's fine. I don't have time to really sit here and slice garlic very thinly. So I'm gonna grate this in. And salt and pepper. That's all you really need for good beef is just salt, pepper, butter, and garlic with some kind of herb, thyme. So this beef that I'm using here, y'all, was the roast that I got from Costco. This was supposed to be a roast, and I'm making kebabs with it. So let's see how this goes, right? But I mean, obviously I know how it goes. I made it already and I ate it already, and it's already been digested and all that good stuff. But it was delicious, okay? That's the thing, like, whenever I buy these roasts, it's such a good price, and there's so many different things that you can make with it. You just don't have to make a roast. You can do so many things with it. So I highly recommend that. I mean, this is great. Of course, it's not the most tender pieces of steak that you can have for a kebab, but that's, you know, whatever. So I cut up all that. I'm cutting up my mushrooms. I like to do it in big pieces. I don't like small pieces because they fall apart too easily. And so yeah, so I'm seasoning it with salt and pepper. And you can see I really didn't add in my mushrooms at this point. I just added in one because I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to break up while I just stirred everything together with my hand and make sure it was all coated with that butter and that garlic and the salt and the pepper and everything like that. Beautifully coating everything. The bowl idea worked really well, by the way. It just coated everything beautifully. Saw that the mushroom wasn't breaking up, so I I just add it all in there and mix it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and have my sticks that has been soaking. It's been soaking there for as long as I can have it soaking. And I don't want to make this until I know that the grill is already lit and it's already ready, because the longer that the sticks soak, the less chance you have of them burning off. I went ahead and made my caramel iced coffee, which I completely forgot to show you the whole process, but it's really simple. It's just ice. I put some of that caramel syrup. I just use the Great Value brand caramel syrup over the ice and stuff like that. You add in your coffee, you add in a couple splashes of that caramel Tirani and the caramel creamer from Starbucks, and it is so delicious, guys. Like, it saves me so much money having to buy this. I just make it at home whenever I want. It is so good. Better than, buying it, because I can kind of just make it to how I like it. If I want a little bit more sweet, if I want a little bit more caramel, if I want a little bit more bitter, gotta do what I want. I'm making it at home. All right, so I'm gonna get those kebabs going and want to get some corn. My little ones and we love corn on the grill. Oh my gosh, it is so good. So good. I'm going to save some corn here. I'm going to put this back in the freezer, like seal it up and put it back in the freezer so it doesn't get like freezer burn. But this is really, really good to add to soups and stuff. And I have some leftover air fryer chicken that's in the freezer. And that's something I definitely, like, what I do is I pop that in a bowl, a pot of water or some stock or whatever. And then I just boil it down and add other. Also going to get working on the potatoes. So we got to scrub up some potatoes, cut them up and put them on the tray to roast. I've got my oven preheated right now. So it's kind of just at this point, what am I going to do first? The reason I don't want to start assembling my kebabs is because the sticks are soaking, and I want the sticks to stay soaking as long as possible. So as soon as the grill is lit and ready for it, I'll start assembling it while my husband works on the corn and other things like that. Now my sink is dirty, but this is the potatoes that I bought from Walmart, and I showed that in my last grocery haul. Now these potatoes, some of them are extremely tiny, and I don't really like peeling such tiny potatoes because they just are a pain on my hands. And there's a lot of tiny potatoes, so this would be perfect for roasting, which is exactly what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to wash these, scrub them up, and just toss them in olive oil, some butter, and salt and pepper, and just put them in the oven to roast. So that's my plan right now. So I'm going to get these washed up and just gently scrub them, because the skins are really, really thin. So it's perfect for roasting, but you don't want to like scrub the skin off too much. So you got to be a little bit more gentle and careful when you're scrubbing them. All right, so here I am just assembling this all together. No rhyme, no reason, just doing the best I can. What I do like to do, though, is put like a piece of onion or something resting on a piece of the beef, because I find like it gets more flavor that way when the onion is on there, as opposed to the bell pepper or the mushroom. Those are just kind of there on the side, but the onion actually lends flavor to the meat. So I try as best as I can and just kind of grab whatever I can. And if I can't get an onion or I forget, so I'm just assembling this all up together, placing it on a plate, and then this is going to be grilled to perfection. This is the corn that just came off the grill. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I'm so glad we did an extra one, because I'm about to bite into one of that right now. I am so excited about this. It smells so good. It's one of my favorite things. So simple, but when on the grill, so delicious. Second. That. I was able to finish that up in about 5 minutes. I was actually going to do more sticks, but I'm so glad. Like, I still have all these sticks left over. I will have to wash out this Pyrex dish, because as my hands was touching it and stuff like that, you can see there's some butter in there. Here I am scrubbing and cleaning my potatoes. I'm just going to rinse them out in the same water, then just give it a rinse with clean water, and I'm good to go. Dry them up. I just shared this recipe, and I will leave that link down below and above as well, so you can check that out. So anytime you're grilling, I really recommend having something extra if there's like leftover, time to grill, because this will make your day so much easier if you can just have something in the freezer or whatever. Like, I am making this, and this is going to be for leftovers for tomorrow. I'm just using a little bit of that leftover butter that we had on there earlier, and because it's still a little bit chilled. It's not frozen or anything. It's just cool. It's just going to melt. That butter is just going to solidify very quickly. But this will be great for so many meals, like grilled chicken on top of rice, in wraps, as burritos, tacos, you name it. You know what I mean? Quick lunch. And the grill is already on. We're already out there. It just takes a couple minutes just to season this up with salt, pepper, brush a little butter on it, olive oil, something like that, and just have it grilled. And then you can just have that prepped ahead of time for a meal. You can do that with sausages. That's another thing that's great. Sausages and hot dogs. Want everything to be dry, because that way your potatoes can get a nice crispy skin. And don't make them too big. Like, not too small either, but the smaller they are. Like, these are really small, so I'm putting them up in quarters. I think that would be perfect. Smells fantastic. You can smell the flavor from the onions, the butter, the garlic, the bell peppers even roasted. It smells so good. It smells like literally just walking into a fancy steakhouse. It smells so good. Let's work on the potatoes. These potatoes, again, I will leave links below, and they are really, you gotta try them. They're so easy to make, and they're so good. I really feel like I'm going to be making them again soon. They're that good. But you do need to give them a try, because they're just delicious. And this is the chicken that I kind of just rubbed in that butter and stuff like that. And we're going to be using that for some Alfredo and fettuccine noodles. All right, so it is time to pull this out of the oven now. And look at that. Perfectly crispy. And they're just perfectly crispy. That's exactly what you want. So I'm gonna take my stove off, my microwave off now. So y'all, as I'm sitting here editing this video, I realized here that the last video that I shared, where I actually made this video into a recipe to share it with you, just to have it there on its own, because I think that's so important, especially if you're searching for like a quick side or something like that. Anyways, I completely forgot a main ingredient when sharing that video. Oh, can you believe that? Because I really can't. There's the salt, there's the pepper, there's the Cajun seasoning, a little bit of olive oil, and butter. About 3 tablespoons of butter, just cut up into small pieces. Just mix it all around with your potatoes. I cannot believe I forgot the butter, because the butter is such an important ingredient, because as it melts, it just lends that flavor, that buttery flavor, and it also kind of like browns just ever so slightly with the potatoes, and it just gives it amazing flavor. I just cannot believe I forgot the butter. Had to add it into this video anyways. I may redo that other recipe with the potatoes, because I forgot a main ingredient. Typical me.